Hello, I am Lori Kamala with Code the Dream. Welcome to this Vamos training session, which will demonstrate how to build routes that you and your staff can use on Outreach. We'll be using the Vamos web app since that's where you build your routes. You can access your routes in the mobile app, but you cannot edit them there. So log into Vamos on your computer and get ready to follow along. In this session, you will learn how to identify sites for your next outreach trip. You'll learn how to build a route and understand the search and path modes. You'll learn how to view your route on Google Maps and see other ways to take a look at your route. And you'll learn how to access your route in Vamos Mobile. So I'm excited to get started. Let's see. Here is an example of a route I've already built on Vamos. This route shows the sites that I visited on a previous outreach trip in the order I planned to visit them. Once I've built my route, then you can rearrange your stops, view your route in Google Maps, and access it on the mobile app. And by the end of this session, you'll be able to do all of those things also. But let's quickly orient you to how to find routes within the Vamos web app. So let's see, here we are on the front page of Vamos. This is your sites page. From the navigation bar, you can access all of your routes directly from this Routes tab. But before we click on that, just notice that you can also start building a route directly from your very front page. But let's start by clicking on the routes page. And here you can see all the routes that have been created for your organization. We just have a few so far in our demo org. The routes are listed in alphabetical order. So that's something your team might want to think about as you're creating your routes. You might decide to always use the year, month, day, plus county style, or decide on another naming convention that works well for you all. You can search for routes up here using the name or dates. And that could be really useful once you start getting a lot of routes listed on your page. Now we're going to build a route for my next outreach trip. So to do that, we start by clicking on Build a Route. And remember, you can do that from here, the routes page, or back on the sites page. So when we build a route, we have to give it a name. I'm just going to call mine July 2023, Durham, Orange County. You give it the date. Usually we put in the date that you are planning to do outreach, or you can choose to make it today's date, whatever you prefer, and add the description. I don't need a description for mine right now. Feel free to pause the video right now if you want to create your own sample route. Make sure you give it a name like test or sample or something that you can find easily and delete later. All right. Now, here we are. It brings up this map, which is showing us all of the sites in our organization. We're going to use the advanced search box, which is just like if you're familiar with doing a search for sites on the sites page, that's the same way that you're going to use the advanced search here in the routes. You can use any of your regular search parameters. So say we wanted to find only H2A camps. All right, there's those. If we wanted to find only H2A camps in, let's see, Buncombe County. Let's see if we've got any. There's one. Let's see if we wanted to find all of the camps in Wake County. Let's see what we've got. We only have one. But you can use any of your regular search parameters to find more camps. Let's see, another thing that we could try is all camps with a high priority status. Okay, we see quite a few, and we could use those to build our route off of. One thing that you might want to be cautious of when you're doing a search for a route is you notice this came up with 0. That's because we're searching for too many parameters at a time. You can always just clear all and start again with just one parameter. All right. So I am going to be looking for, you can also, let's see, if you clear all and then hit search again, that will just bring up all of your camps. All right, I'm going to be doing outreach in this Durham and Chapel Hill, Hillsborough area. So I'm zooming in on the map, or again, you can of course use the search box to zoom in on any location that you want. Once you can see the sites that you want to add, you click on them and this little info box pops up with basic information about the site. It will also mention if there has been a recent visit to the site. We want to add this to our route. There we go. And just a quick note, you can choose view details and it will open in another page if you would like to do that. All right, let's also add this one, Maple View Farms, add to route. Great. And Little Yellow House, add to route. And East Blueberry Farm, add to route. Great. So we have our four camps that I'm going to visit on my next outreach visit. We've got them all here. Feel free to pause the video now so that you can play around with searching for sites and adding them to your route. Now, once you've added your sites to your route, you can reorder them over here just by clicking and dragging and just put them in an order that makes sense for you. Now, we've got our sites identified, but we can't see the actual route. We need to use this button down here to switch from search mode into path mode. So when we make that switch, you can see that it forms the path. And now we can make additional adjustments of the order. So let's see. Actually, this is a pretty good order, but say we were going to be starting from the other direction. We can move that one first. And then, let's see, probably that one next, and end up over here. And we have successfully reordered our route. If we decide we want to add more sites, you just have to switch back to search mode, and it shows all of our sites, and we can choose to add more. And when we want to see our path again, let's see, add to route, and we just click on path, and we see, oh, that one's a bit farther away. So I'm just going to delete that from our route. Yes, we do want to delete it. All right, great. Feel free to pause the video again if you'd like to practice reordering your sites, adding more sites, and practice switching in between search mode and path mode. Right. Now we're almost ready to navigate to our sites, and Vamos gives you multiple ways to do that. If you scroll down on this page, you'll see a list of directions that you can print out in advance if you know that you will lose cell signal while you are out on outreach. Also, just below your route stops here, you can click on Open in Google Maps, and that will open up a multi-stop navigational plan in Google Maps. One important note here is that Google only allows us to export a maximum of 11 stops. So when you are creating your stops, you probably want to keep them to be less than 11. If for some reason you do have more than that, you can always create 2 routes for that outreach visit, say July 2023 A and July 2023 B or something like that. And of course, you can also open up your route on mobile, which I'm going to show next. And now is another good time to pause and open up your own route in Google Maps and see how that works for you. In the meantime, I need to pause for just a moment so I can bring up my mobile unit. Okay, here I am back now on my mobile device. Hopefully you can see my phone screen. I have an iPhone, but it should look very similar on an Android device. To access the routes, we are just going to click on this routes button at the bottom. And I'm going to just and there we go. That's the routes button on the bottom. And I'm going to click on that here. And here we can see the route that we just created. This one here. Yay. All right. And it was available pretty much immediately after we created it. If you do have any glitches with that, you might try to log out from your of Vamos from your mobile device and log back in. That always helps. So right now we are looking at okay, so now I'm going to click on the route that we want to see, which is this July 2023 one. Okay, there it is. Right now we're looking at it in list mode, but over here we can click on the map to view it in map mode. So I'm going to click on that. And there we can see our different stops on our route. Right. Now there's a few things to remember about using routes on your mobile device. You can only open and view routes. You can't actually change anything like reorder sites or add sites. Hopefully someday we'll be able to do that on mobile, but right now you can only open the route that was created on the web version. So if you need to make any changes, you'll have to go into the web version to do that. Also, if you don't have a cell signal, you still won't be able to use your maps to navigate to camps. Unfortunately, we don't have our own Code the Dream satellite systems. We use the mapping technology available on your phones like Google Maps and Apple Maps. So if those aren't working because they're so signal, unfortunately, there's nothing that Vamos can do about that. But hopefully, many of you will still be able to access your regular mapping software. Oops. Okay. So let's go back to taking a look at our routes in list view, which you access right up here. All right. And here is my very favorite part. And you can see, we've got list the number of sites, the distance, and the expected time. So that's all helpful information. Then, of course, each of the sites that are in our route are here. And now my very favorite part, you can touch this one button, open in Maps, and Vamos will automatically open a multi-stop navigation trip in Google Maps, which is pretty darn awesome. And you can navigate directly from there. Now, if there are glitches with that part for whatever reason, or if there was a change in your route that you haven't been able to update through the web yet, you can go back to your route list and simply click on each of the individual sites. And you can navigate to them directly from there via this routes button up here. So when you navigate directly from an individual site, Vamos will ask you if you want to use the different options that are available from your phone, so Apple Maps or Google Maps, and you can choose one of those from which to navigate. Now, if you are navigating directly from your route, that option is for all of the sites in the route, that option is only available from Google. All right. So once you're looking at your individual site, then you can, of course, add your visits down here. add any notes that you have, and just be on your way with outreach. All right, I am going to go back to my other screen. Here we are back on our other screen. And hopefully this has been really helpful to give you the ins and outs of how to create routes in Vamos. So you should now be able to, or let me see, first let me go through the quick takeaways. To remember, when you are building a route, you click on Build a Route from the Sites page or Routes page. You use the advanced search to identify your camps and then click on Add to Route. Then you're able to reorder them as you wish. You switch from search mode to path mode to be able to view your actual route. And then you have some different options for how you navigate to the site. All right. Now, I hope this has been helpful. In this training, from this training, you should have learned how to identify sites for those next outreach trips. Hopefully you have now learned how to build your route and that you understand the difference between search and path modes. You now should know how to view your route on Google Maps, and you should know how to access your route from Vamos mobile app. Thank you so much, and we look forward to seeing you next time.